Hey Washashivers, and welcome back to my channel. So today we will share with you guys an update of the stream room. Turning this around, we can actually see that we survived the power outage with the battery pack. So that is done. What we are actually doing right now for the past couple of months is that we are actually going to upgrade the discharge system. So we can actually see over here, it's quite messy. Yeah, it's very messy. And one of the things is that the discharge system, the upgrade of that is that we are going to use a diaphragm pump, a much bigger diaphragm pump to actually do the work. And so far the test has been very successful. We are actually very pleased with the discharge system. So the discharge systems actually started off all the way from here. We made a lot of mistakes about the discharge system, the pump that we are using. Because there are a few different types of pump, we actually bought the Eheim pump, which is this pump over here, which is, a centrifugal pump, which works very differently from a diaphragm pump. So when we use a diaphragm pump, the reason why we are using a diaphragm pump is because of the method that we are actually using. So what we're going to do is that the discharge system actually vacuums up the water, and it requires a constant flow of water into the diaphragm, the motor, for it to actually work properly, versus a centrifugal pump, which works very different from that. And we actually did a test just now again because we actually did this, which means that for every single tank we have a discharge valve, which means that once we turn it on, it will actually vacuum upwards, and it goes all the way up here and through this and all the way, and goes down, and then it comes out from here. So that's how the flow of the water discharge will actually take place, and it will be able to actually, we did a test with the furthest pump or the furthest tank, that we are actually able to also then draw the water out from here. So how long does it actually takes for one tank to do maybe 10% of water change? So far the pump capacity is actually able to help us draw out about 10% in about 20 seconds. So it's very fast. It's actually able to draw out one whole row. So what we're going to do is that when we do the water change, it's going to be like this row, first this row, second, and then third. So it's just going to pump it all out, and then we will use the same input water to actually do the water in. So it's very fast. Our target is that if we are able to actually discharge all 100 tanks down to about 30 minutes of water change in and out, I think that will be the goal. So that's one of the updates on the discharge, which has taken quite a lot of time, because there is a lot of pipes over here, a lot of connections, all thanks to my dad. He is really good at that. But of course, when we started doing this, the mode of operation of the diaphragm pump is very different from a centrifugal pump. The method and the layout and the flow and the process of how the pipes actually run impacts the discharge efficiency. So I wouldn't bore with you guys with all the technicalities. We understood and learned throughout this process. And the second thing that we are changing as well is actually we also have a reset box over here, or reset stainless steel basket, you can call it. It's now being tested over 50 tanks. We actually done the test, and it's fairly good in the sense that in future what we're going to do is that we're going to just do a reset using this. So the water actually flows through, it is able to hold up to 700-800 grams of soil. So that's fairly good. And it's stainless steel. We tested it, we ordered another 50 so that we can put in the rest of the tanks. So far it has been very good. I mean, it hasn't caused any problems with it. You can actually see that the water actually flows through it. So that's how we do it. It's still in the testing phase, in the sense that we are trying to see what's the impact of it and what can we actually do with this. And during the reset, all we have to do is that we just have to take this out. It's actually removable. I'm just going to come down here. Maybe there's one that is easier to take it out. Yep, this one over here, you can actually see that it's just a stainless steel basket, you know, that you can actually hang this right behind. You can actually grow plants on it, and that's one of the things that we wanted to test and then see whether does it work well, because we don't want the roots to actually cling onto this too much. So during reset it may not be that easy to do. And so that's one of the updates. And another updates that we are doing is that we actually, you know, change out all these tabs. Instead of the straight ones, we change it to the elbow, so that it's now direct and it's much faster. We also changed to a better O-ring, because the previous O-ring, I think that's not as good, so we sourced for a much better O-ring. It's much harder and it's much better, I think. So we changed out all 200 fittings. We will change all 200 because we are still work in progress. There's still a lot of things lying over here. The streams are actually doing well. You know, you can actually see that they are now currently feeding on the breeder select, and all of them are in the terminator mode. You can actually see that they are all in the terminator mode. The terminator mode is actually being it's one of the term that is being discussed in Facebook. One of the breeders, or one of the stream breeders, actually mentioned about that his streams look like a terminator when they consume the breeder select. So you can actually see that, you know, the deep blue boats over here, they are also enjoying the breeder select, and they are all doing fairly well. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the changes, like for example, we have changed a lot of the filters, the air filters, you know, with the easy flow aquarium co-op filter, and it's really good. So far, I think we don't face any big issues with the aquarium co-op filter. In terms of clarity, I think there's a hit and miss. You can actually see that, you know, the test that we do over here, we have so many tanks. We have so many tanks to actually do a test. So usually when we do a test, we actually do a lot more tanks, so that we can actually see what is the impact or what the outcome, rather than having to just test, you know, one or two of the tanks. So over here, you can actually see that it's all aquarium. You can actually see there's all these the aquarium co-op filters, and the tank, you know, they look decent. It's like, you know, it's not, I mean, it doesn't have any bad impact if I'm using an aquarium co-op. We are just doing some tests here. It's going to be a test, and once it's done, we will share with you guys some of these updates. So we removed some of the tanks just because of the installation, because we wanted to install the discharge pipe for all of them, all the tanks over here. So over here, this is the original, you know, the inflow, which is using the straight tab, versus the new one, which is the elbow one. So these are much faster and more efficient in that sense. However, you know, because of the space on the top, we are unable to actually put the elbows in there. So in terms of the streams, we can actually look over here. Let's see. So these are some of the selected ones. Through selective breeding, the babies are out, and the babies are, you know, resembles the parent, which is what we actually want. So far, I think it's rather successful in that sense. Of course, there are other projects that are ongoing, but yeah. So a lot of new upgrades that we are doing. You know, like we've mentioned, the O-ring, the tabs changes, the discharge valve, the basket. So all of this has changed, and what does it really impact? You know, I think the whole idea is that we want to make this as efficient as possible, and so that, you know, running 100 tanks is as good as running 10 tanks in terms of the time. If we are able to achieve that, then we are able to actually do a lot more in terms of the stream that we want to do. So over here, you can actually see that, you know, we are actually using, like, some of them actually, over here, some of them over here with one aquarium co-op and one normal filter, and one canvas filter and one aquarium co-op. So any big difference, you know, in terms of, you know, these two tanks are very, very cloudy, because there are a lot of streams in there. There is actually technically not enough filter medias or surface area to actually have more beneficial bacteria. So we want to grow more beneficial bacteria so that the tank will then be able to be clear. So a lot of parts over here, like what we're going to do with the discharge valve, it's we actually drill holes over here, and we're going to put a netting right in there to actually stop the streams from getting sucked up. I think that's one way of doing it. We have also ordered quite a number of stream traps, or not stream traps, those stream guard, different types to actually do it as well. So you can actually see that the update on in terms of the stream tank itself, in general, it's fairly good and it's going in the right direction. It's just that it's taking a long time. That's because it's very difficult, to actually do a lot of all this plumbing work, and there's a lot of drilling involved. There's more holes to be drilled over here. There's more pipes, a lot more tests to be done. The first few times when we did the test, it overflow. It didn't actually work on this side, and yeah, so a lot of things has changed, but of course for the better, and we are always trying to strive for better and better infrastructure to actually help us so that we can actually focus on the streams in future, because the streams will then be able to have the best condition that we can actually try to provide them, and for them to actually grow and breed. So you can actually see over here, these are all the K14 pure white line, or the pure red line. Some people say the pure red line. And yeah, I mean, they are all doing well. They are all feasting. The tanks are not fully, are not very clean, in the sense is that I didn't had any time to actually do a lot of cleaning. It's just changing of water, and the front glass is, some of them are a little bit dirty, but I think that's fine. Once we are able to get through it, I think that will be okay. So all the streams are doing well. As you can see, we have changed a lot of the ADA version 1 out to the fluva stratum, and of course over here it's a bit, yeah, you can actually see that these are actually the orange eye Neocaridinas, so they are doing fine. And Michael Hessler from Germany actually sold this to me, and all of the babies are orange eye, so very easy. We keep this in tap water. I'll do a video on Neocaridinas because I realized I have never done Neocaridinas video, and this is actually a selected center, red center. We can actually see the red is very deep. It's very different compared to the normal reds. So this is a selected grade of red center compared to this one, which is the normal center. You can actually see that the tone of the red is very different. The deepness of the red is also very different. It's due to the quality and the selection process. You can actually see, so these are the babies that come out. We will be able to remove some of this into other tanks, and then we're going to start from there again. And these are two tanks that we actually doing an experiment over here. These two tanks has always have not green algae, but like brown and reddish algae on them. And what we're going to do is that we're going to try to understand what actually created that. We understand that silicas will create, or will actually promote brown algae on the glass. So there's two things that we are actually trying to do. Two tanks. One is the aquarium co-op filter, the other one is the Canvy filter. So it doesn't really matter which of the filters, both of them are actually brown, and the rest of the tanks are fine. So quite a bit of experiment, quite a bit of projects, quite a bit of construction going on all at once. That's the reason why some of them, like I said, there's no tank over here, and the PRLs are doing fine. So over this course of learning and understanding, I tried and realized that it takes time. So for those who are very eager and very, who wants to get things done very quickly, I would really encourage you guys to slow down a little bit, to really enjoy the hobby, to really talk about what can actually improve the quality of the stream, the infrastructure, and all that. So yeah, so these are the updates. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll bring you more updates in time to come. So thank you guys for watching, and peace out.